come to you, we need to know what is happening right here in Georgia now. And 30 million victims of human trafficking in the world, and 1 out of 5 is a child.
Oh, can I pet him?
Of course you can.
And we were running deficits at the state capitol. And I said our only hope is to become a truly international city. And that is pretty much what's happened. But that puts us in the center of all of the troubles in the world. And sometimes that's a rough place to be.
Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport is the largest and the busiest in the world.
Yes.
And because we are, I believe we get so much more traffic right here in our area. It's a sad situation.
I think I may have witnessed an abduction earlier today.
For real?
Yeah. What if that was him?
Man, look, like, just pray that it wasn't. Besides, what could you have done anyway?
It's okay to tell.
We've served over 25 girls since we opened a year ago. And the counties are spread out. It is not just Fulton County. It is not just Atlanta. I mean, we're having the problem south. We're having the problem north. It is widespread. Our hotline number through Georgia Cares accepts over 400 calls a month. Yet we have approximately 35 beds that serve this population of youth. And so I know for us, we turn girls away every day. I mean, our 10-bedroom, we stay full, and we do not have enough beds to accommodate all the calls that we get in, which breaks my heart because, I mean, I will actually hear case managers say, we're sitting in a hotel with these girls because we have nowhere to place them. What about for boys? Because we have nothing for boys, and someone needs to jump out there and get a home for boys.
Now, what we do about something like human trafficking is another challenge. There again, when I was mayor, I would worry the police to death. You know, just stay on them. And they'd say, Mr. Mayor, the problem is it's all electronic. There's no street crime anymore the same way it used to be. And that we haven't figured out how to go after the sex trafficking in the city. Well, that may or may not be true, but that was their excuse. But there was some truth to it.
And now they do it more on the internet. Yeah. So here we are again. They were thinking that everything was stopping, and then we found out that the internet influenced everything.
Right, right.
So as a result, they will put them on the internet, and they'll pick who they want. Or they'll say, if you want to come to Georgia. So they fly in, they pick them up in maybe a limousine or a taxi cab, they drive them to this warehouse that once you inside the warehouse, it's a real fancy place. They have the bar, they have the different rooms. So it's really a brothel.
Right.
They have, you know, the woman there taking care of them and then picking which one do you want. This is really happening.
Yeah. Oh,
this is happening.
Devastating.
And people don't believe me when I tell them it's happening.
Yes.
And I can even tell them where it's happening in Georgia. And it's still that way. So we have another problem.
Yes.
Somebody's turning their head.
Exactly.
I remember, it's a good while now, I was running for mayor, and I walked into a little coffee shop down on Auburn Avenue. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there were about 6 teenage girls there. And I said, what school do you all go to? You better go on back to school. You shouldn't be here this time of day. And they all ran out very quickly. And then somebody said, you know, that was part of the sex traffic of downtown Atlanta. It never dawned on me. These kids were younger than my own children.
If I had not been in a beauty shop, get my hair fixed, and seeing these little kids walk up and down the street, and then standing way back in the corner as the pimp, watching them. I said, what in the world is going on?
Yeah. I remember we were looking for a humanitarian initiative with the World Chamber of Commerce.
That's when I met you.
That's when we met. And there was a lady that told me about this 6-year-old young girl. She was kidnapped from her house, South Georgia. And she was arrested for prostitution at 9. So I thought, what kind of society we live in that a victim of human trafficking is going to jail? And then it was explained to me that was the way to get her away from the pimp. But it's still the system needs to be fixed. It should be better than having to arrest a little 9-year-old.
In my work with the YMCA, we run into families where the mothers, as in China, encourage their daughters into prostitution. And we also have cases where, because of bad public policy, we don't let the grandmothers stay in the home anymore. If they got a Section 8 certificate, their grandchildren can't live with them. If they want food stamps, an unemployed man can't be in the house. If you take grandmothers, if you take my father and my grandmother out of my life, you don't have me. Because almost everything I know and everything I have become was by and large from the wisdom and love of a grandmother who put up with me when I was bad, and the discipline of a father who tried to keep me good. And the breakup of the family in America and the urbanization of family life is causing all kinds of complexities. It's really not simple.
They really need to enforce the law better. Senate Bill 104 that I passed in 2017 puts a sign up that say, if you have been trafficked or if you know someone who is being trafficked, please call this number for help.
That's
Honey,
Yeah, sweetie.
Mrs. B is here to see us.
Good, show her in.
You know I got something you're gonna like, right?
Any discounts here?
Of course not.
20% of human trafficking is labor, body parts, organs.
Yes.
I mean, this is just beyond just, sex trafficking.
I know.
It goes farther
It's
than
so
that.
awful.
It is awful.
I always fall back on these old hymns. Earth hath no sorrow that heaven cannot heal. And I think that coming together in groups like this, talking about a problem, making us aware of it, and learning to balance out the negativism that we find in our media, things are complicated. And we have to take the time, and you are taking the time in this World Chamber to really understand how business can reach across barriers and boundaries.
What we hope to do is give transitional living, independent living, to where they can go from a very structured environment like ours to starting to be independent, starting to make decisions on their own, but they have a support staff if they do fall.
We all have a responsibility as citizens to help victims of human trafficking as one of them.
How can we save a life before they become a victim?
I believe if we all work together, we can make a difference. Support your senators so they can pass laws that will benefit you. We all must work together, and we vow to save the children.